China is involved in genocide right now, and no one cares. No one cares that they're soaking up the economy. They're taking all the money. They're trying to be the leader in 5G. The technology that you will rely on for your communications will be in the hands of a communist party that has social credit scores. Hey, welcome back to Too Long Didn't Care. I'm your host, Coy Mac. I'm sorry we haven't been able to put out more Too Long Didn't Care episodes as well as the Hooch, but we will be getting back to those this month. I got a whole new setup going on now, so we can try to keep up to date with all the news and praiseworthy events that are happening in the world. But first, we need to talk about the fact that China is waking up in a big way that is going to start taking over the world. And I don't say this often, but I think Bill Mayer's right. He said that the U.S. has lost to China and is too focused on woke competition and lizard people. Now, I don't know if you've seen any of Bill Maher's stuff, but he's been a kind of a liberal lefty for a very long time. He had a show that was called Politically Incorrect, even though he is politically correct sometimes, most of the time, just to keep his job, because that's how everything is today. Is cancel culture is in our face constantly, day after day. Even Sarah Silverman now is like, I'm done with both political parties. I don't want to be a part of this anymore, after she got canceled from a movie because of a joke she made back in 2007 or 2008. I don't remember which, but it was that's how long ago it was, is that she made a joke and now she's canceled. And we've been saying this on the conservative side for a long time, is that you can't make good movies with comedic effect anymore because you're going to get canceled. You can't do edgy comedy anymore in the United States. You're gone if you do. And Sarah Silverman now knows that. We now know that it is constantly coming at us day after day. And especially with what happens at the Grammys, with WAP being the song that is highlighted, with her, Cardi B, basically being a stripper that she used to be. You can take the stripper out of the strip club, but you can't make this, you know the thing. You know what I'm trying to do. You can finish the thought process there, but it's the point, is that this is what the United States has come to. But China isn't playing that game. China's playing for keeps, and they are playing for every Scrabble on the board. I mean, if you've ever played Risk, I know like a lot of us that are deployed, we played Risk all the time overseas. It's just something you did. China is playing with the Risk board while everybody else is playing with Mr. Potato Head and figuring out if he has a dick or not, right? So instead of us doing what we need to as a leader in the beacon of the free world, now China is taking over that baton and taking it away from us and taking it away to the authoritative regime that they've always been. People seem to forget that China is not a democracy. It is a communistic one-party system that rules all things. See what's happening with Hong Kong, right? And the threatening that they've been doing in Taiwan. They are pushing deeper into the South China Sea and into sovereign territories of their neighbors. But nobody's stopping them. They're making artificial islands out in the South China Sea right now and claiming that they're theirs. They make the islands and say, this is our waters now. This is what exists in our realm. This is ours. And they're going to keep doing that. They're also been planning and are pushing more towards taking Taiwan back. Historically, if you don't know this, Taiwan was a part of mainland China that broke off during the revolution, during their civil war. So the communists won and pushed out the, the other part of China to Taiwan, and that's how Taiwan came about. And so now they have always said that Taiwan has been a rogue province, that it belongs to China and always will belong to China. Same thing with what happened in Hong Kong. They said it was going to be, they're going to be able to keep their system. It's like that lie we were told about our doctors. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. It's like, if you like your system of government, you can keep your system of government. That's what the Chinese told the people in Hong Kong. And then they just said, you know what? No, fuck that. I'm gonna, it's mine now. It's back to being mine. And that's not the only thing they're going back to being mine, is the fact that they have been building for years now a massive infrastructure project that spans the globe. They are making the new Silk Road in order to monopolize economics, to monopolize traffic and logistics, that everything has to go through China in order to get anything done. And they're going to these third world countries and getting them in debt, indebted to China for things they can't afford. They can't afford the infrastructure projects that they're making and promising them everything in the moon in order to keep their power, and also for China to keep their keep their lanes open. They've also been deep diving all of their fingers inside of Africa and turning Africa into China's China. So the US turned China into a cheap labor workforce, and now they're turning Africa into a cheap labor workforce for them. They're also exploiting workers in Africa in order to mine all the things that you enjoy from Apple. Go figure, you know. You're trying to be environmentally friendly, but forget that Jim Bob down in Africa is 12 years old mining all those precious metals that you need in order for you to have your next iPhone that they release that they never actually change. But hey, whatever. That's not the least part of the least worrying thing that China is doing. The fact that they are institutionalizing and using the same sort of strategy to get rid of Uyghur Muslims that they did in Nazi Germany. They're using forced sterilizations and birth control and all these other measures in order to eliminate a population. That is genocide. China is involved in genocide right now, and no one cares. No one cares that they're soaking up the economy. They're taking all the money. They're trying to be the leader in 5G. The technology that you will rely on for your communications will be in the hands of a communist party that has social credit scores. Right? Like this is nightmare dystopian stuff where you have to have, like, Black Mirror did an episode on this where they had credit scores, and if you went below a certain way, then you couldn't get anything. That China already has a policy like that, and they're still pushing stuff like that. They want to be in charge of the World Health Organization, like leading the charge in the coronavirus passport for travel. They're the ones that are responsible for spreading COVID to the rest of the world, but they want to be in charge of the passports that allow you to travel. No. China is a big issue. China is a big problem, and nobody in their right mind is paying attention. They're going to keep doing this, and they're going to keep pushing things. The same thing. Another reason we should look out for it is that the fact that they aren't playing games. They're not playing the woke progressive nonsense, even to the point that they're having masculinity training to masculinize their men. I think if they would stop eating so much soy, they probably wouldn't have a testosterone issue. That's a joke, by the way. It might be scientifically possible. I don't know. Maybe that's why. But just saying. I think, my personal opinion, that China in the next decade is going to push the United States out completely. They've recovered faster than anybody else in the pandemic because they could lock everybody in their homes. They could board them up. They could do whatever they wanted. They can silence people. They can whisk people away and make them disappear. They made a billionaire, Alibaba, the guy that made that, they made him disappear for months until he resurfaced. And then he was like, all good now. Everything's great. If you think letting China run the world is a good idea, then you were sorely mistaken. You think minorities have an issue in the United States right now? Wait until China runs everything. They don't like minorities. They have Han supremacy. You think white supremacy is a problem? Wait until like more than 1 billion people that are Han Chinese who think they're better than you. Just saying, you need to watch out for that, America. Anyway, that's it for Too Long Didn't Care. We'll see you next time.
According to your Facebook page, we aren't friends.